Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, and what is going on, and how y'all doing on this Sunday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my live review of WWE Fastlane 2023. And this show took place yesterday, October 7th, 2023, in Indianapolis, Indiana. I cannot remember off the top of my head the name of the name of the stadium or venue they were at for it. But we're going to talk about the 5-match card. I can tell you the last time, well, maybe besides like Survivor Series or something, where it was just a 5-match card. And I like the format. Again, the only problem I had with the structure of the card was the fact that most of them were tag matches. I would rather see more singles matches than tag matches. And just one-on-one match, which was that main event, that last man standing, which was an awesome match, I thought. Awesome match. Everything else, was good. Or it was what it was, basically. There was a few little things that I was a little head scratching about. But overall, I thought it was a good show. It was a fun 5-match show. None of the matches were bad. The women's match was probably the weakest on the card. We'll talk about that when we get to it. We did have a return happen at some point in the night also. A shocking title change, which I was a little surprised by. And then, of course, I feel like for the most part, we got what we need to get out of this pay-per-view. Was everything perfect? No. But it was a fun show. It wasn't the best show we've seen this year, but it was fun. It was a show that you'll probably watch once, enjoy it, but nothing really to go out of your way to go watch it again. But, it's still going to be worth talking about. And I'm pulling up here. I did do a poll on Twitter last night for the grades, and it looks like out of the 15 votes, 67% said B for this pay-per-view, which, believe it or not, that is a grade I gave it as well. Again, some great match. Well, again, the main event was definitely match of the night. The other matches were good, like I said. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into there. And we will roll into the show. So we got Mark and Tyler in the live chat. I'm doing pretty good, Mark. How about yourself? I have a full belly right now, which, again, I do apologize. I did post the stuff on Instagram. And then I was getting ready to go live because my wife was making dinner. And she said that'd probably be about an hour. But then she says, it's not taking as long as I thought. So that's why there was a little bit of a delay in the start of the stream. So I apologize about that. Tyler said the show was not good-ish. And he thinks that EO is an awful champion. Mark said, I thought all the matches were pretty good. And Tyler still thinks Edge is a sellout, which of course I disagree with. But again, I respect your opinions, Tyler. I can't believe that the ending of the first match, I thought the Judgment Day cheating was going to help them win another match. But it backfired. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that because I was definitely surprised by that ending. 4.8 out of 10. I give this show. The main event saved this show. If I was JD, I would not show up for Raw tomorrow. Probably not. And probably not get anywhere close to Damian Priest. I thought we were going to see Jade Cargill make an appearance after the SmackDown title match, or the women's title match. Maybe. Rumors still have it that she is going to Raw. She was, though, seen arriving and greeted by Triple H. The rumors, I still think she should start in NXT. But the rumors have it that she's going to Raw. I don't know, though, then again, I don't know many of the women in NXT. But I feel like that is somewhere, I still feel like if she would go to Raw, she may get lost in the shuffle. But if she goes to NXT, she could build up her brand very well there, I feel like. And be like the face of the women's division NXT for a year. And then get called up. But looks like she's going to be going straight to Raw. But we will see, of course, what happens down the line. But without any further ado, we will get started talking about the 5 matches on this card. Because I am working on a couple shorts tonight. I should have 2 to upload tonight, which is the worst matches short. Definitely also, if you didn't get to, check out my Zoe Stark short. I know that one is pretty late, but I finished it last night. And I had a commercial for my Wolfenstein 3 Let's Play. I do have all but one map done for that. I also started editing my Roller Coaster Tycoon Let's Play for Millennium Mines also. So, stuff is in motion. October, as of now, is not as busy as the past few months have been for me. So, hopefully, I'll get to pound out some more content in October. Hopefully. Don't want to promise anything. We'll see. But let's roll in and talk about the show. One thing, though, that I did get right, though, even though I was... Let me see here. I was technically 2 for 5 in predictions for this show. Definitely some surprise results as well. But let's talk about it. Let's not waste any further time. We opened up with the undisputed tag title match. It was the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Senior Money in the Bank Damian Priest taking on the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and main event Jay Uso. It's just me, Uso. Day one, it's just me, Uso. Day one, it's okay. I was going a little crazy there. Never mind. Definitely was not drunk. Whenever Cody and Jay appeared on the press conference last night, they were definitely a little buzzed. I think they definitely had a couple too many celebrating. Because, shocker, but Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso won the tag titles. I was very, very surprised by that. The match was good. The last 5 minutes, though, I would say, was definitely the best part. It got very crazy with interference from Dom and Rhea. JD McDonough was out there also because he's still auditioning to be in the Judgment Day. Of course, the person who he does not seem to have a good bond with, though, is Senior Money in the Bank Damian Priest. And unfortunately, this time, JD McDonough pretty much cost them the titles as McDonough went to hit, I think it was Jay or I can't remember who it was, with the briefcase. But instead, they got out of the way and he took out Damian's leg with it, which is not good at all. That's definitely not going to put him in a better state as well. And then I think also Rhea had hit Jay with the briefcase, but he still kicked out of a roll-up. And then Cody and Jay won doing a combo, kind of like the 1D with the Cody cutter, like the one and done finisher that him and Jimmy were using with their recent tag title reign. That was their recent finisher. And again, Cody and Jay surprisingly win the tag titles. I don't know. I was surprised they took the belts off Judgment Day, which, I'm sorry, I keep saying this. The Judgment Day booking, again, it's just so out of whack. They're just completely overexposed. And again, they lose a lot of, key moments. Like, the past year. Okay, you had Rhea, besides Rhea retaining her titles, Finn Balor won the I Quit match against Edge exactly 1 year ago today, because it's been talked about, because 1 year ago today was when Bray Wyatt made his big return, and now 10 months later, rest in peace. Other than that, and then win the tag titles from Sammy and KO last month in the Steel City Street Fight, they're not winning. Like, again, I just feel like the ship has sailed as far as making the Judgment Day, like, the most talked about thing. I really do. I keep saying this. Have Rhea and Dom stay a thing. Finn can do something with JD, and Damian can be a single star. Although, was this maybe the build to the rumors of Damian Priest going to be getting kicked out of Judgment Day and JD taking his spot? But at this point, Judgment Day would look stupid because JD did in fact screw up and cost Damian the match. Unless, of course, that goes long-term effect that JD did do this on purpose because Damian's the only big thorn in his side and everybody else wants him in. We'll have to wait and see. But later tonight, though, Damian's telling Rhea that he doesn't want to leave tonight empty-handed, but she told him, don't cash in, not tonight. And, spoiler alert, there was no cash in later on tonight. But yeah, I still thought, based off of what happened on SmackDown on Friday, I really thought that the Judgment Day would retain because Jimmy was going to cost Jay the match. Because it seemed like that, again, because even though they haven't done it for a couple weeks, they're teasing Jimmy joining the Judgment Day. But then also, they had like kind of the Judgment Day and the Bloodline like make a deal with each other pretty much on SmackDown. But that's not the case. But now, of course, since Cody and Jay have the tag titles, they can go between Raw and SmackDown. Which I still think it's very odd that Jay's been on Raw for like a month. We're told someone's going to be going to SmackDown in return for Jay. And Adam Pearce is still saying that they have no clue yet who that is. And I still think that's bull because Cody Rhodes, I'm pretty sure, pulled these strings just so he can go to SmackDown to get his rematch with Roman Reigns. Like I said, it might, like, them win the titles, cool. But again, it's either complicating the story or just trying to stall the story even more. Because again, once again, I still think Cody should have dethroned Roman at SummerSlam. Again, I was fine to lose that Mania, but ever since SummerSlam, again, this whole Bloodline stuff is just, it's very out of whack. It feels like it should be working. But again, the more they do things, the more holes get exposed in the storyline. We'll see what happens, though, as Roman Reigns is returning this Friday, as it looks like he is going to be set up for a particular match at Crown Jewel with someone else who got the pin in a later tag match, pinning Jimmy Uso, but we'll talk about him in a little bit. But yeah, we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso winning the tag titles. Next match, we had, well, ignore the one person in the graph, I gotta change it, but Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits took on the LWO. Now, based off a beatdown on Friday, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde were unable to compete. So, Ray told Santos and Zelina he was going to make a call. Now, the match, though, started out 3-on-2. Like, okay, Ray said he was going to make a call, but either I missed something, but there was no segment showing that like whoever he called was running late or anything. So I thought that was a little weird. So then it was weird because I'm thinking, okay, if it is in fact like a surprise, then there's no way they're going to have the LWO lose now, right? Because I thought, and spoiler alert, the LWO do win, but I don't know. It's like I don't know if this loss is going to hurt Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits or what. Because if they were going to lose on this pay-per-view, I would rather have it be the way it was like 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, where it had that segment where Angelo didn't capitalize on, the killer instinct or the heel side of him and cost them the match. I kind of would have rather had that happen here. But it was an odd thing to collide because you had a surprise, but then you have a new, fresh team that you want to see get some momentum. So it was weird, but the match was still good. Now, of course, who though was the third person? Well, in my predictions, I was saying Dragon Lee. But then, my good friend TN Couponer here, he pulled out a prediction that I didn't even think of. And sure enough, he was right. As the third member for the LWO in this match ended up being Mr. I spit in the face of people that are not cool, except he had a completely new theme song for some reason, but Carlito made his return as he returned at the 2021 Rumble, and then he also made an appearance at Backlash in Puerto Rico this year. Now, there were rumors that he had signed a new deal with WWE on July 7th, but they kept delaying his plans. So, I'm guessing this is his full return. I think he's probably going to be around for a while. He's only 44 years old, Carlito, by the way. And he still looks in excellent shape here. But he gets the win with a backstabber he hit on Montez Ford. And LW gets the win. Like I said, I like the moment with Carlito returning. I just think that it was not the right time for that, though, because, once again, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are the new stable. That first loss to tape, like I said, if they were going to have them lose here, I would have rather had them have the loss they had 2 weeks ago happen here. Because now it's it's the second time this has happened. Is Bobby still going to trust them? What now? I'm starting to worry a little bit here. But we'll see what happens. We will see. We'll see what happens. All right. Here was probably the weakest match of the card. This triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. The champion Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. I know I'm going to get heat for this, but is it just me, or ever since Charlotte came back after her hiatus after WrestleMania, is it just me, or is she not putting on, something seems off with Charlotte? I don't know what it is, but again, she went from having that instant classic at WrestleMania with Rhea Ripley, which I will still say this, that match, even though they went right with Sami and Kevin and the Usos main eventing night one at WrestleMania, if that wasn't the case, Rhea and Charlotte most definitely could have main evented WrestleMania with that match. But ever since she came back, it's just something just seems really off. Because I gotta be honest, again, I'm not being biased. I thought the match was great when Charlotte wasn't involved. At the beginning, you thought at first she was going to make that babyface comeback win. Well, if Vince had full control, I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened. Because Asuka missed Charlotte in the face. And right at the beginning, and then they kept emphasizing that Charlotte was on the side for a bit, getting the burns out of her face. And I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me they're going to have her come back in and win the title at the very end like this. But the match was good when it was just Io and Asuka. And then Charlotte got involved, and like I said, I don't know what it is. Like I said, Charlotte, again, she had the classic with Rhea Ripley. She used to have excellent chemistry with Asuka. But I don't know what it is. This, her latest run, something just seems a little bit off. And then I didn't like that, even though, of course, the referee didn't see it because of a distraction from Bayley, I didn't like that they had Asuka tap. I didn't like that. Why are they just... Again, Asuka's just treading water again. She's basically just, looked like they brought back gave her a new gimmick at the beginning of the year, but to me, it's just been the same thing, except just with different face paint. And then Io won. She broke up the figure eight with the moonsault, based thanks to the strategy from Bayley, and she retains the title. Again, Kairi's on her way back. Well, still there's rumors of, so maybe we will get Io and Kairi, or again, I would take a triple threat with Io, Asuka, and Kairi, but like I said, I'm not trying to diss on Charlotte. Like I said, it just lately her matches just aren't like I like this match a little bit more than the triple threat we had at SummerSlam with Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. But again, it's just something's just off with Charlotte right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you know, it's like a case of Randy Orton where she's bored as a babyface and she would much rather be a heel, which, you know, she said herself in interviews that Charlotte's not meant to be liked, this, and that, which, you know, I agree. But I don't know. I don't know what's up with her right now. But Io does retain. We'll see what happens next. At this point, if Kairi's not coming back, then I don't know what they're going to do with her. But they're probably going to put the belt back on Charlotte at some point. Who the hell knows? But that's that one. We got 2 matches left. Well, first, before the next match, Pat McAfee came out. And of course, he is a former football player for the Indianapolis Colts. And he starts hyping up this whole thing of like, oh, actually, also, I'm sorry. One more thing before we move on. Here, I haven't pulled this out in a long, long time. Let me see, it's here. Aha, I found it. Before we move on to move on from the women, I haven't pulled something out in a long time. I gotta grab a pen here. Hold on. Hang on. Where is it? Okay. So, before I move on, there was, and funny enough, the second to last thing I had just put on this, I wrote on this was the virus. I can't say the actual name because, you know. But anyways, I gotta mention something here. There was on the press conference, there was a stupid idiot who had because everybody's talking about Taylor Swift because her and Travis Kelce are dating, who's a football player. And when when Damage Control was getting interviewed, some idiot had to bring up Taylor Swift and ask Io, wouldn't she do a match with Taylor Swift? And I heard that, I'm like, why is that even a necessary question to ask? Like, that's, like, whoever asked that should not even been allowed to be in the room. Like, you were there to have a press conference about wrestling. If you want to, like, chat other crap like that, get out of the room. Because Taylor Swift, idiot at Fastlane. You know what happens when you ask a very, very stupid question? You know what happens when you just waste all of our time and are annoying? Taylor Swift and Fastlane? You just made the list! Taylor Swift. I'm gonna read this list again just to see, you know, what all I wrote on it, because I have almost like 2 full pages. But yeah, that pissed me off when I heard that. That was so ridiculous. Anyways, though, getting back to it, Pat McAfee came out, which again, he was the second to last person on this list. Actually, I have written down, but Pat McAfee came out, and he basically cuts a similar promo that John Cena cut in London when they went to Money in the Bank in London. Just mentioning how they got to bring WrestleMania to London. Basically the same thing for Indianapolis. And Indy was an okay crowd. They definitely weren't as hot as they were, as of course they were when John Cena was trying to do it. But once again, they're probably only doing that again because they're just ticked off about the whole attendance for All In and whatnot. But, not going that far because I don't talk about AEW on this channel. Give an exception for Adam Cope's up, but whatever. But he also is at the base just to introduce Mr. John Cena, who came out for his tag match with LA Knight. I'm sorry. Everybody say it with me. LA Knight. Yeah. But he came out. LA Knight came out in his Slim Jim mobile from winning the Battle Royale at SummerSlam, taking on the Bloodlines, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Not gonna lie, this match was not that good until LA Knight got the hot tag. I don't want to diss on him either, but Cena did not seem like he had it. Or it was just a typical John Cena's getting the crap beat out of them, makes the comeback at the end, which somewhat happened, except of course they gave the rub to LA Knight. But when LA Knight made the hot tag, like the crowd woke up. And he does get the victory, hitting the blunt force trauma on Jimmy Uso. And John Cena just stared down Solo Sikoa and made sure he didn't get back in the ring. Again, it did what it had to do. It put LA Knight over. And again, Roman Reigns is returning this Friday for the first time since the SmackDown after SummerSlam. And I'm pretty sure Jimmy Uso, who basically is like he thinks he's the shit, he thinks he's got the bloodline in the palm of his hand, thinking he is the new tribal chief, thinking basically, like I said, he thinks he's the shit. But basically, Roman Reigns is probably going to squander that this coming Friday because it would make no sense for him to want to do business with Jimmy Uso again right now, especially since he's losing. Of course, though, since Jay and Cody had the tag titles, I could maybe see him saying, here's your test. You're only back in the bloodline if you can win the tag titles off your brother and Cody and stop them from coming over to SmackDown, basically. But of course, how can he, though, if he's losing, We'll see, though. Maybe they'll do like a fatal 4-way or something. I'm still considering when they're going to put for prediction for Crown Jewel. They could do a fatal 4-way maybe with Cody and Jay, Judgment Day, that rhymes actually, Bloodline and DIY maybe. Because it looks like now, because of this win, they're probably going to do Roman Reigns and LA Knight at Crown Jewel, which will be a great match. I don't think Knight's going to win. Be awesome, but give him a shot in the main event. See what he does. Him losing, I don't think will hurt him, but, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, as predicted, John Cena on it, and then, like I said, I'll say the match was decent. It was definitely better. I thought it was better than the women's match, but like I said, I felt that the match really came alive when LA Knight got the hot tag. And that's that. And then we got our main event. This last man standing match with Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was definitely one of the best main event pay-per-view matches this year, for sure, WWE has done. This match was a war. It was fast-paced. It was much better than the Payback match. The Payback match was fine, but I knew they could do better. And this is exactly the match that I felt they needed to have. The only disappointment, though, is Nakamura did not win, which I do think sucks, because they they really developed like a persona with this new heel character. With like the Japanese vignettes, the whole story that he knows about Seth Rollins' weakness, and that is his back currently. And better than what he has done recently, but I thought, like, I like how in this match, Nakamura didn't attack the back immediately. It got there eventually, but when he did attack the back, oh shoot. Like, again, at Payback, it didn't feel like it was as big of an Achilles heel. This match, though, it felt like Seth was barely surviving. And that's what happened, exactly. He barely survived. But, of course, they emphasize that's how much Seth Rollins loves being world champion and how much he's willing to put... Like, they told that he's gonna fight a war, but he's going to, put up with the pain for us. And I think that's what, saved me from hating the fact that Nakamura didn't win. But, like I keep saying, look at this match. We had we had kendo sticks, we had tables, Seth Rollins immediately exposed in the concrete. Nakamura was using nunchucks on Seth Rollins. He went from, one time he was Nutcracker Nakamura. There was a spot where they were on the side of the stands, and Nakamura did hit a low blow on Seth and pushed him off the stage through a table. Because Seth went through a table there. Nakamura sent him back first onto that exposed concrete. There was a spot in the match also where it looked like Seth set up a ladder right by the announce table. It looked like he was setting up to do like a avalanche curb stomp through the table, but Nakamura got out of the way. But later when they were on the ladder, it looked like Seth was going to do a suplex on Nakamura, but instead Nakamura buddied up with Asuka and sprayed red mist in the face of Seth Rollins. There were definitely plenty of times that I thought that Shinsuke was going to win, because they made me believe he was going to win. Like I said, I don't want to complain at all about this match. I just feel like that this character they developed with Nakamura, and I've been waiting for Nakamura to be a world champion, and he's fallen so much since he's come to the main roster. And I think, again, I just got to accept the fact that we're probably not going to get that NXT version of Nakamura again. And this was probably the closest he'll ever come to getting a world title. But, again, I felt this match did the job and showed that Seth barely survived. And they made Nakamura look great. It's just, what do you do with him now? But the match ended where I think Seth hit a pedigree on Nakamura on the steps. I mean, on like some concrete outside in the stands. And then he hit a Falcon Arrow or something like that, like a Phantom Driver on Nakamura through a table. And Seth even barely got up. And Nakamura was just about to get up at a count of 8. But then he slipped and fell, basically. And Seth retains the title. Like I said, I'm disappointed Nakamura didn't get the title here. I appreciate that they're making this the best out of this run for Seth, because this is definitely his best reign as world champion. Definitely. Like the last time he was world champion in 2019, wasn't his fault, but again, he was not booked well at all. And he was not handling the pressure well at all. But he is just, again, ever since his series of matches with Cody last year, he's been on the run of his career. For sure. And they're giving him a strong reign out of it. I still think also, even though they're going to be doing Roman Reigns and LA Knight at Crown Jewel, I still want them to do War Games at Survivor Series. But if they want to do one Raw versus SmackDown match, I would be totally fine with Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns. And I think there is a chance we could see Seth Rollins beat Roman in that match. But of course, Roman would still have the title. But then again, also, are you going to want Roman losing one-on-one before he drops the belt to Cody? Who knows? But I still thought this match was like basically exactly what I wanted. Again, it was well, first off, it was also Seth Rollins' first ever last man standing match. I didn't know that. And to me, it was probably Nakamura's best match in the main roster. It's just a shame that he's probably not going to get as close to the world title as he is now. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with him now. I hope they give him something like reasonable to still do. Because again, I really dig this heel character they're doing with him. But I don't know. Especially if they eventually put like a mid-card title on him. Because the times he's been like Intercontinental United States Champion, he's never on TV. Or telling us that Rusev is a total diva. You know, whatever. But fantastic main event. And that's Fastlane. Like I said, it was a harmless show. The women's match was the weakest part of the show, I thought. Again, I am not sure how I feel about Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits losing again, but the Carlito return was cool. I was shocked for sure with Cody and Jade winning the tag titles. And LA Knight getting the rub he did. Cool. And again, the last man standing match, what I thought would be, it's just a bummer that they didn't put the title on Nakamura. But again, not going to complain with Seth as champion. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on Fastlane. Gave the beat. Still a good show. I still liked it. Let's check the live chat, of course, before we go off the air and see what we got here. I think Tyler wants Charlotte as champion again. That ending was bullshit. I don't know. Like I said, I know they want to make her a multiple-time champion, but my thing is, again, make her like. Again, I think what just has to happen is Charlotte has to have some sort of like a non-title feud or two. Because again, they can't keep bringing her in just to have title matches. Because once again, no one's going to, enjoy it. No one's going to be able to take her seriously. They're just going to think that she's going to shove down our throats. Again, she's a phenomenal talent. Hall of Famer. But like I said, it's just lately, it's like something's again just been off with her matches lately. Mark says, after hearing The Undertaker at the end of NXT commercial, I can't wait for Tuesday. Yeah, Undertaker probably be coming to NXT on Tuesday. I won't be watching though, because Tuesday nights are my trivia nights, but maybe I'll check the highlights. I also want to see what Roman Reigns has to say on Friday. Also, Jimmy should not show his face. Definitely not. I agree. What are Jade Cargill going to do first in WWE? Since she's going to be on Raw, I have no idea. I don't think they should put her up against Rhea right away. Yeah, I still think she should. I still think she should have went to NXT, and she should have been the one to dethrone Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title. I mean, I guess you can still do it, but it still wouldn't make sense for her to be a Raw superstar winning the NXT Women's title. But who the heck knows? Time to just kill off the Judgment Day. They're losing everything, pretty much. Wrestling News 365, what's up? I'm glad Io Sky retained the women's title. Who do you think she should defend the belt against? Again, if Kairi's coming in, do that. And I still say run back her and Asuka one-on-one again. He also says, I think Drew should fight Seth for the World Heavyweight title at Crown Jewel. I keep thinking they're going to do Drew and Cody at Crown Jewel. But now since they won the tag titles, probably not. But maybe Drew will get the shot next at Seth. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Damian Priest was going to cash in. I would have done it in that match with Shinsuke and Seth because that's what I would have cashed in at. True, like I said, I just think Damian needs a little more time first, though. Now we might get Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Would be opposed to that. The Bloodline injured Randy Orton, right? So you think about it, this can make him out of the storyline with Cody Rhodes when he returns because Cody's with Jey Uso. Again, I even had someone mention, what if they don't do Roman and Cody at Mania, what if they have Cody enter the Rumble, Randy Orton enters and eliminates Cody Rhodes, and we do Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Which that, of course, would be a money match to do for sure. Again, we'll have to wait and see, though, because once again, if Randy does come back, is he still going to do the RKO, though, because of his back? With back injuries and whatnot. Who do you think Roman Reigns' fight next to Universal title is? I think it should be LA Knight. Yes, it will be LA Knight. If they don't do Roman and Seth champion versus champion Survivor Series, I think that's when they should do Roman and AJ. I think this would be good to do there. Is Cargill back full-time or is this a one-off? I think he's back full-time now. I wish Charlotte would keep the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. I don't want Kyrie versus Io because who wants to see that? I do. If AJ was still in the tag match with Cena, then it would be the main event of Fastlane, maybe. Tyler thought Payback was better than Fastlane. When they were doing match releases, why couldn't they give Nia Jax her walking papers to all she does is give people concussions and put them on the shelf? Yeah, again, like I said, my wife even said this too. It's like, she's not thrilled about Nia Jax, but she's also not thrilled about Jade Cargill getting brought in, or the idea of CM Punk maybe coming back to WWE, because why should they be signing these new people if they're releasing people? Which I agree. I do agree with that. Why are they still bringing people in, but yet they're releasing people at the same time? That doesn't make any sense to me. Even after, of course, they signed a $1.4 billion deal with USA for SmackDown, but, you know. But I'm going to get off here now, guys. Again, I do hope to have 2 shorts. I've been wanting to do shorts from my 2023 edition of the worst wrestling matches of all time. I have one done. I'll try to get a second one done tonight. Like, I've already gone through and trimmed them down to the parts I want. I just gotta dress them up. So I'll try to do one more tonight, and then throughout the week, hopefully more content will be getting uploaded as well too. Like I said, hopefully October will not be as busy as the past few months have been for me. But that is my review of Fastlane. Again, I gave it a B. What are your guys' thoughts on Fastlane? What was your match tonight? Do you think there was any missed opportunities, like Nakamura should have won the world title, or they should have had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits win, or anything else? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at @theclubwiththeman93. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at @theclubwiththeman1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion. That is a fact of life. Yeah!